Alimony Guidelines. Early enforcement of maintenance laws is a must to protect dependent women. So, if the government really wants to protect, if it really wants to protect women from becoming dependent, they should enforce the maintenance laws earlier than they think they should. In India, though more girls are going to school now, for many the inevitable reality seems marriage before completion of higher education. Girls are married off nearly and bear children long before they should. This triggers a state of poor maternal health and is one of the root causes of high levels of child stunning and wasting in India. So in India, one of the major problem is that most of the women they get married and they bear child even way earlier than they should. Even though most of the girls are actually going to schools and higher studies now, it was not like that for many of the time, for most of the time, and even now, some girls are actually getting married before their higher education or even education, and this is not at all good for the women because when they bear child, their maternal health gets completely spoiled, and it is a huge health risk for them. There is no possibility of a marriage not working out for varied reasons, leaving the girl or a young woman in extreme distress because often she is not financially independent. So it's okay that it's actually okay. The most of the women in India are getting married even before they complete their higher education. So when they get married, after some years, what is happening most of the time is that um, the husband and the wife, uh, both of them get divided by a divorce, and this has been a major problem for many years right now because most of the women who are married to a man, they can be independent. Most of them are dependent on their husband's salary, and they do the household work. It's like that for most of the women. So for most of the women, this is a big trouble. Because when they get divided or get divorced from their husband, they can't be independent. So they may be homeless along with their children who need care. Parliament and the courts have persistently enacted legislation to give to give women better rights. Article 153, which states nothing in this article shall prevent the state from making any any special provision for women and children, read together with Article 39, which directs state policy towards equal pay and opportunities for both men and women, and protecting the health of women and children are two key constitutional safeguards. So it says that the government has been trying for it has been trying for years to make some laws which can protect women, and they did. They have prepared so many acts and so many laws to protect women, and all of them have worked goodly. And and Article 153 states that every state has the power to create new laws or new acts whenever possible for the women. Our constitution says that our two main priorities is that um, one of them is protecting the woman, and the other is ensuring a proper health for the woman and the children. On Wednesday, the Supreme Court leaned on these two articles and had a host of other laws, while hearing a dispute between Mumbai-based couple and set down comprehensive guidelines on alimony. Um, so all this discussion actually started because of a couple in Mumbai. The Supreme Court has studied so much about all these acts and laws which are directed to protect women. In a 67-page judgment, a bench of justices Indu Malhotra and R. Subhash Reddy outlined specifics, including reasonable needs of a wife and dependent children, her educational qualification, whether she has an independent source of income, and if she does, if it is sufficient to follow for family courts and magistrates and lower courts for alimony cases. So as I said, in Supreme Court, this topic has been hugely studied. So two persons, Indu Malhotra and R Subhash Reddy, they have done a research on this topic, and their questions were that most of the women have some reasonable needs. When they're divorced from their husbands, they have some reasonable needs to have. So they are, a woman should have an independent source of income. If she has that, how much is that, and is that sufficient to bear the family? And what is her education qualification, and is it okay to get a job somewhere? Given the large and the growing percentage of matrimonial litigation, some clarity was necessary. So you may think, you may think that why is the Supreme Court doing this much research on this simple topic? Well, it might be simple, but it might be simple, but it is not clarified. Many things have been going at once, and also nowadays matrimonial litigation is more. Matrimonial litigation means the legal actions which are related to marriage, like divorce. Those things have been happening a lot right now. Cases are known to drag on and acquire co-webs, worsening the misery for vulnerable women. So, if someone files a matrimonial litigation in the court, what actually happens is that this case lasts for 10 years, 5 years, 6 years, and so on. It actually doesn't ever end. This is because of the alimony. One side of the marriage, or the wife, forces the husband to pay alimony, which is the money which he must give after he divorces a wife. But most of them say I won't give. So this is the reason why matrimonial litigation cases last for so long. The court laid down that while women can make a claim for alimony under different laws, including the Protection of Women and Domestic Violence Act 2005 and Section 125 of the CRPC, or under the Hindu Marriage Act 1955, it would be inequitable to direct the husband to pay maintenance under each of the proceedings, urging civil and family courts to take note of the previous settlements. So, actually, the Indian government and states have made huge efforts to protect women, and they came up with two laws and one law, two acts and one law. See, I mean, aren't this enough to protect women? The sad thing is that most of the people out there, especially men and husbands, they do not they do not care they do not care of any of these acts. They just don't know of this, and even most of the people out there don't know these acts. Perhaps keeping in mind the vastness of India and its inequities, the court also added how an order or decree of maintenance may be enforced under various laws and Section 128 of the CRPC. For women in India, especially the poor, who are often looked in discourses, the top court's votes that maintenance laws will mean little if they do not prevent dependent wives and children from falling to destitution and vagrancy, and offer a glimmer of hope. It The inequalities in India. If we consider the inequalities in India, if we consider the inequalities in India, the main reason may be that people don't actually care what the government says, and for women in India, especially the poor who are overlooked in discourses, means there are many poor women in India who are overlooked, means who won't even be considered while they were given a divorce. The top courts words them. So, if the laws and the acts which the court made does not, if no one cares about the laws or acts which the Supreme Court does, and if they do not, if they do not be, and if they don't be successful in protecting the women or children, it will just be little of hope to all the women who are in India right now. So it basically says that the government should concentrate more on making these laws effective. There are required number of laws, but from now on they should be effective. Thank you.